Ah, Among Us. A game about teamwork, trust, and backstabbing, betrayal in space. But today, we're not here to talk about venting or emergency meetings. We're here to talk about the imposter's criminal record. Spoiler alert. It's worse than you think. If you're wondering where this all takes place, well, it's not stated. So we'll be using New York City law because it's the most populated place in America. Let's start with the obvious. Murder. The imposter's bread and butter. Every kill is calculated, deliberate, and utterly cold-blooded. Under New York law, this isn't just second-degree murder, it's first-degree murder because of premeditation. Each murder, 25 years to life. So if you're the kind of imposter who clears out the entire ship, that's 13 murders. Congratulations, you've earned 325 years to life in prison. Next, sabotage. Let's break it down. Shutting off oxygen. This is criminal tampering, endangering everyone aboard the ship. That's 15 years per incident. Messing with the reactor. This qualifies as reckless endangerment and also falls under criminal tampering. Another 15 years per incident. Shutting off the lights. This creates hazardous conditions and could be seen as reckless endangerment. That's up to 7 years per incident. Messing with communication devices. Disabling the crew's ability to call for help or report crimes could count as obstruction of justice, earning you 7 years per incident. Shutting doors. Trapping crewmates in various areas could be classified as unlawful imprisonment. That's 4 years per door shut. And with a maximum of 7 doors, that's another 28 years. If you sabotage 5 times, 1 oxygen, 1 reactor, 1 light, 1 comms, and 1 door shutdown spree, you're looking at oxygen tampering 15 years, reactor tampering 15 years, lights off 7 years, communication sabotage 7 years, doors 28 years, total for sabotage 72 years. Now let's talk about shapeshifting. The imposter doesn't just blend in as a harmless crewmate, they physically transform into other players. That's not just criminal impersonation, it's identity theft on a whole new level. In New York, impersonating someone else with the intent to commit fraud or other crimes can carry up to 7 years per count. If you shapeshift into 14 different players during a game, that's 98 years added to the sentence. Now let's talk about framing others. This isn't just a dirty trick to win, it's obstruction of justice. You're lying, misleading the court, aka the other players, and making it harder to solve the crimes. That's up to 7 years for each false accusation. If you get 13 people ejected by framing them, you're looking at another 91 years for obstruction of justice. Finally, when there are 3 imposters, the conspiracy charge really takes off. You've got 3 killers working together, plotting every death and every sabotage with malicious intent. The conspiracy to commit murder in New York, another 25 years per murder. With 13 kills, that's another 325 years on your sentence. Tag teaming the sabotage? Oh yeah, that's a whole new level of criminal activity. 3 imposters working together to wreak havoc on the ship? You bet that's going to carry some extra penalties. For every additional sabotage coordinated between the 3, we're talking 10 years per incident for conspiracy to commit sabotage. Now here's where things get really interesting. You see, framing and shapeshifting both become part of the conspiracy charge. Meaning, shapeshifting is part of conspiracy. You've stolen someone's identity to commit crimes. That's 7 years for each count of shapeshifting. With 14 shapeshifts, you've earned 98 years for conspiracy. Obstruction of justice is part of conspiracy as well. You've misled others and stopped them from solving the crime. That's 7 years for each obstruction. And with 13 ejections due to framing, that's another 91 years for conspiracy. When it comes to conspiracy, every single act, from murder to sabotage to shapeshifting to framing, is charged under one big umbrella. So let's tally it all up. Murder 13 kills, 325 years. Sabotage 5 sabotages including doors, 72 years. Shapeshifting 14 shifts, 98 years. Obstruction of justice, 13 people framed, 91 years. Conspiracy, murder, sabotage, shapeshifting, framing, 325 years for the murders, 72 years for the sabotages, 98 years for shapeshifting, 91 years for framing. Add it all up, 586 years for conspiracy. Grand total 1,172 years to life in prison. So next time you're in electrical, remember it's all fun and games until someone does the math. The only task left for the imposter, serving consecutive life sentences. Looks like the imposter has been ejected from society. And if I missed anything, vent about it in the comments and I'll return yet again to challenge the imposter. Disclaimer, I'm 99% sure this is correct, but this might not be accurate because this is extremely complicated math.